So micros are a mega bait any time of year, and I've seen quite a lot of people, obviously, first time they've used them and they're not 100% sure what to do with them. I've seen people use them straight out of the bag, dry, throw them in, and to be honest, it's not the most effective way to use them. Today I'm going to talk to you about a couple of different ways so we can use them on a method feeder or on the pole, and as you expect, we might have to prepare them slightly differently. I'm going to give you a quick run through of how I prepare them for a method feeder and for a pole. So to start with, take your bag of micro pellets. So micro pellets, usually referred to, but the 2mm pellets. If you're looking in a shop, that's the ones that you want. And these are suitable for all different types of fishing, as I've just said. So what you want to do is take them straight out of the bag, put them into a tub. So I like to do, depending on your session, but we're going to do a pint at a time. So as you can see, they're dry and probably a bit smaller than 2mm to start with. They will expand with the water. So to start with, I'm going to do the ones for the method feeder just because I'm going to leave them for 2 minutes in total. So while I'm talking you through the micros for the pole, the ones for the method will be cooking, so to speak. So put them in there, take straight out of the lake, water, pour that in, and I just want to cover the pellets completely. So you see the couple of float on there, give them a little pat, and they'll go down, and all of them are now sinking. Quick look at my watch, and I'm going to give it 2 minutes. So while they're there cooking, I'm going to talk to you about preparing micros for the pole. So this is whether you like big potting, mixing them with ground bait, toss potting over expanders or maggots. 90% of it is going to be done with these. So take the rest of my bag, tip them in there, exactly the same. But this time, if you want to add any liquid or boosters, this is the time to do it. So the bit of water that I've got, you tip your booster straight into the water. A bit double concentrated, so you only need half the amount you'd usually use. Give that a mix, and that just flavours the water. So when the micros absorb the water in, they'll be absorbing the flavour into the pellet as well. So that's mixed in there. And what I do with these is I soak them, so just make sure that the water's just above the pellets, probably like a centimetre or so, and just leave them. You can't break them or do anything with them. I leave them till the start of the match. So when I'm preparing the bait, I do it quite early on, because especially with your micros for the method feeder, you want to give them at least half hour, 45 minutes, 2 minutes soaking, and then they'll continue cooking, so to speak, once you've taken the water off. So looking at my watch, I've got another, 30 seconds or so, and then what I'm going to do with them is put them into this fine mesh net. So you get yourself a fine mesh net, and when you tip the water in off the micros, and then I'm going to put them into a tub just to level them out a little bit, and then they will continue absorbing the water in, but when it comes to starting the match, they should be sticky enough to hold together around a method feeder. So there we go, that's about time. So now I'm going to tip the micros in, let the water drain off, just because you don't want them too soft and spongy. You want a little bit of hardness in the middle of the pellet. So once that's gone, tip them in there, and then I'm going to transfer these over into my 2-pint bait tub just to give them that little bit more room. There we go. And by using the fine mesh, it gets all the water out, but you don't lose any pellets. And then leave them in there. You can add a little bit more booster flavour onto these if you want, if you feel that you need a bit heavier or a bit more sticky, but leave them like that and they'll be perfect. And then these ones here, you can let these keep absorbing the water in, and then when it comes to fishing the match, they'll be nice and spongy, nice and edible, and the fish love them. So there you have it. We've been fishing for about half hour or so. I've had a little go while we've been waiting for these to settle, and as you can see, these are perfect. Exactly what we wanted. 2 completely different types of ways of preparing the pellets, 2 different outcomes, but perfect in their own situation. So these are the ones that we did that were for the pole. So as you can see, they've swelled up quite a bit more. Put them together, you can see they've swelled up quite a bit more than the ones for the method. And most important, when you squeeze them, see that little bit of water, but they don't hold together, so they'll break up as individual micros on the bottom. Not very good for a method because as soon as it hit the water, they'd come off. But perfect for in the pool, whether you're cad potting across, big potting, mixing with ground bait, and that's exactly how you want them. Whereas these are the ones that we did first. If you remember, we soaked them for 2 minutes, drained all the water off, and then we've left them in this tub there. And they're a bit smaller because they haven't taken on as much water, but main important thing is for the method, give them a little squeeze and you can see they hold tightly as a ball. Whereas these ones, if you squeeze them, they're not holding. So they'll stick to your method feeder, give them a nice squeeze, you can put them in like that and the pellet's going to get to the bottom, break up around the method feeder exactly while we want them. So hopefully you've taken them couple of little tips on board, go out, catch plenty of fish, whether it be on the pole with the fully absorbed micros, or on the method with the 2 minute micros.